What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We going all the way to Kansas City, home of what some people say the best barbecue, to break down Max Holloway and Arnold Allen's fight night card here. As always, go down, like, and subscribe before we hop into this action. Drop your comments on your picks on this card and all bets you're making this weekend. I'm Paul, pick and win 'em Concha, and I'm joined with.
And I'm Kev. God damn, my lungs hurt some boy. But
He did just take a big
hey,
rip.
hey, you see when I asked that barbecue shit in the group chat?
Oh yeah, bro. They go to war about bar. It's like Texas, the Carolinas, Kansas City, and like Memphis, Nashville. Like they'll go to war about they have the best barbecue.
But did you see when I said that in the group chat?
Yeah.
I heard because Max Holloway had said that shit. I didn't even check to see what they said back.
Oh yeah.
Like,
They said it was definitely a top tier. I think Lawyer even said it was the best barbecue.
I know Max was probably Max must have been at work.
And they all taste different from what I heard too. Like it's not like they all taste the same. Like when you go to each city, that's why like Kansas City barbecue sauce, St. Louis barbecue sauce, Texas barbecue sauce, like they each city makes it known that this barbecue sauce was from here.
I, I do like me some Carolina gold. I ain't gonna lie to you.
See the Carolinas, they've come in with the sleep hitters too. That's what I'm saying. Like each one has their own. Like Alabama got their own barbecue sauce.
Okay, Florida, where your barbecue sauce at?
Yeah, for hey, they got the Daytona wings at Hooters. Don't sleep on them now.
Dang. Okay. So if you there, I hope you enjoy some motherfucking barbecue. But I'm got to be what 15 area codes away. What the fuck is going down, Paul? Kansas City. I didn't get to do too much research on this card. You feel me? Because my boy, the Blessed Express, is all we watching this weekend, man. I'm watching the prelims and all that. But there's a couple hitters on there. What's going on with the card, man?
All right. Well, of course, we're gonna start off with something different here. Instead of picking every pick on the card, we're gonna jump over to the Cut Man's Corner because these are gonna be the fights that are gonna be exciting. These are the fights you should look out for outside of the main and co-main event. I'm gonna start off with personally my fan favorite right here. My personal favorite fight. I just love me some Clay Guda, bro. This would be his 35th UFC fight. Jit's was in the UFC the tough season 6. Went to the finale and lost. I just like him because boy is like a marathon man. He's a caveman, right? He's very durable. He's your favorite uncle. He just likes to bang. He just puts his head down, bites down on the mouthpiece, and just starts banging. He's very aggressive, even at like 41 years old. Jit will walk forward. He's a good wrestler. He's very aggressive with his shoots. He'll make it dirty. He'll make it grimy. And like Rafa Garcia is a young prospect boxer who Clay Guda just fought a boxer, so he's coming off a win too. So like he's just being set up with another great fight person in front of him where he could probably just stand and bang with this person, get very aggressive.
Right. So you trying to tell me this motherfucker is 41? Didn't you say he was like Strike Force champion or some shit?
Back in '06, Strikeforce champ over Bellator's fighter Josh Thompson. The way all these things work.
Bruh, do you understand that the Miami Heat starting lineup back then was Shaq, Donis Haslam, motherfucking Antoine Walker, Dwayne Wade, and Jason Williams?
And Clay Guda was standing and banging with the best of them, but
That's insane. That's crazy. Alonzo Mourning coming off the bench. That was when Clay Guda was winning championships.
yeah, and I mean like the wrestling like he's just like in his prime, he really was a very good contender. Even if he's old, but now that he's older, you're just trying to watch him like how much does he have left in the gas tank, and he has that caveman energy where like he just seems to every time you think he's gonna lose. I think he's been an underdog in almost all his last few fights, and like it doesn't matter, he still ends up winning somehow. I'm not winning all of them, but I mean 3-2 in his last five, I think.
Bruh was Strike Force champion when George Bush was president. I'm just saying, like, bruh, if
He's
he
been
comes
through
out
plenty of
here and puts
administrations, right? He's like 38 and 19, like 57 pro fight.
that's insane. But Brett comes in here and he just bangs out with dude and really puts some pressure on him. I might shit my pants, especially if there's a knockout. I will personally come on the podcast and show what my shitted on pants. because that would this is gonna be insane. I'm definitely staying up for this fight. So
All
man,
right.
we
And then
understand.
yeah, like I said, that's our boy Clay Guda, long hair, don't care, caveman style. Gotta shout out that boy. First fight off the Cutman corner.
Let's take it back to the what else you got in the cut man's corner for me, man?
This one's on the prelims. It should be on the main card. It's two top five flyweights going at it. Number five, number four. Former LFA champ Brandon Royval, as you one of the best one of the best BJJ fighters in the division. Got pop in his hands. Really fun fighter all around, and he's going up against the newcomer in the UFC, Mateus Nicolau. Uh, this is his second stint in the UFC. He's 4-0 so far in his second stint, coming off a KO win against Matt Schnell. And actually, kind of funny, both of these fighters are coming off of wins off of Matt Schnell. Uh, one via submission, one via knockout. So, and Matt Schnell is not a bad fighter at all. Like he just put on par with the
I'm gonna
best
say Matt
ground.
Snell's the same. Matt
Yeah,
Snell's the dude that was getting his ass beat and then hooking
came
up.
back again. Yeah, like so Matt Snell's a good fighter. So like it's just funny they're both coming off of crazy wins off of him. And it's Nicolau being the newcomer, he is a pretty big favorite, minus 200. The Roy is plus 160. But I just think, I mean, this is a two top five flyweights right here. And they're going at it, and it's on the prelims. This is a fight that definitely should be on the main card. I don't know how Daddy Dana put it on the prelims, but I'm gonna be here watching it. I can't wait for it.
Damn, I didn't know there were two top fives. Like ranked top five or just top five, like stylistically.
Ranked top five. One's fifth, one's fourth.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and
That
I'm actually rooting for my boy Roy Vol here as the underdog of my betting people. And in another ranked matchup, this one that is getting into the prelims. We got Pedro Munoz versus Chris Gutierrez. Pedro Munoz, I believe, is ninth in bantamweight right now, and Chris Gutierrez is 13th. Gutierrez is the favorite. He's looking to move up in the division. He's coming off. I mean, he ended Frankie Edgar's career. If you remember Frankie Edgar's last fight last year, Chris Gutierrez is the one that KO'd him viciously. I mean, the KO before that over Donna, it was a spinning back fist KO. It was fucking nasty. He's like Chris Gutierrez to me is kind of like the Yuri of bantamweight. He's just a wild man, and he has pop in his shots. He'll throw the spinning back elbows. He'll throw the flying knees. He'll throw the crazy shit that you're not thinking about, and if it lands, it's fucking vicious. He's really fun to watch. He has that high Muay Thai stance, and then Pedro Munoz. I mean, we saw him against Sean O'Malley. I don't think that's the best showing of him, but I mean, he came in with a game plan. He was chopping down that fucking tree before the eye poke, and I mean, he's ninth in bantamweight. He's only lost his two hitters: Aljo, Frankie Edgar, Jose Aldo, Dominic Cruz. He has wins over Cody Garbrandt, Brian Holloway. Then he has a submission win over Rob Font. Pedro Munoz, fucking uh, at one point probably one of the most exciting fighters at bantamweight. He can roll with the best of them. He's a little smaller, 5'9". He has insane pop. He works with boxers all the time, so his boxing is real crisp. He'll hit the mean body shots, go up top, throw an elbow. So I want this fight low key could be fireworks just because of the Gutierrez's wild style versus Pedro Munoz's like crisp boxing technique. And the one thing I will say about Munoz is he's just slow. He's always been slow. He always will be slow. He's 36, and I just want to see if he be able to keep up with the young because this is a young man's game. So I want to see if he keep up with my boy Gutierrez. But this is another low key fight of the night right here. That's on paper.
all right. So you pretty much you're the reason why I put a tune in early for the prelims. You get nice and drunk at motherfucking 7 o'clock.
Yeah. So I mean, this is actually one of the deeper fight night cards of the year. So those are the couple fights that I'm watching, and then the last fight before we get into the co-main and main event, I guess this one's not really slept on. I mean, it's the third last fight. It's right before the co-main event. You got Dustin Jacoby, number 13 ranked light heavyweight, going up against uh Marzuk Marzukian. Marzukanov. I can't really say his name, but 12-0 Russian. This fight literally is going to go one of two ways. Either Dustin Jacoby is going to use his jab and just hit box from the outside, and it'll be a 3-round decision. But if Marzakhanov does anything that he's done in his last couple fights, is he'll let you win the first 2 rounds, and then you're waiting, you're looking at him like, why is he fucking taking this shit off? And then he'll come in with a fucking mean hook or something in the 3rd round that's gonna knock out the opponent. He's a Russian sambo fighter. He's won gold. This man got hands. He got heavy hands. He's short. He's short. He's only 5'10" at light heavyweight. He doesn't have that long of a reach, but he's okay with walking back the whole fight until he loads all your data, and then he's gonna hit you with some vicious ass shot that's probably gonna end it. So this fight's either gonna go 3 rounds. Dustin Jacoby wins all 3 rounds, or Marzanov is gonna hit him with a fucking 1 and 2 piece that's gonna end the fight in the 3rd or 2nd round. So that's what I'm paying attention to for these light heavyweights.
Mm. But this is interesting. Kia is two. Looking at his record, so I was like, "Oh, we seen him fight at UFC 272. The fight was the first card we ever podcasted about." But the fight that was against Kobe Covington, and then the fight before that was Kobe Covington a main event too. So I'm like, damn, that boy just love to go to a Kobe Covington fight. He might win this and then fight in London on the Leon Edwards Kobe card.
As long as Leon ain't scared.
Oh no, man. I mean, Leon definitely don't want to fight him, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but fuck that. He gonna get out there.
But all right, boys, let's wrap up this UFC Kansas City. Let's jump into these 2 last fights. We got
that.
no, I would say we got the co-main event and the main event.
Oof, oof. So which one? So we get into the co-main event first. We got that boy Edson Barboza versus how do you say his last name?
Billy Quarantillo. We just call him Billy Q over here. 813 product, South Gracie, Tampa.
I was about to say they're both coming out of Florida because Edson Barboza trains at American Top Team.
Oh yeah, he does train American Top Team. Well, I mean, if you know anything about Barboza, is all-time great lightweight, all-time great fighter, kickboxer. Moved to featherweight. Hasn't really had the most success as featherweight, but I mean, he's still doing the damn thing. He's 2-5 in his last 7. It's 2 wins over Shane Burgos where he knocked him out bad, and then another win over Marquand Arkmahani. But I mean, his losses are to like Paul Felder, Justin Gaethje, Bryce Mitchell, Giga, Dan Ige. He's Kevin Lee, Habib Nurmagomedov. Like, I mean, you can go down. I mean, he's always lost to like great fighters. It's not like, but he's always made every fight competitive.
That boy beat Dan Hooker now.
Hey, he knocked out
Beneil
Dariush.
Yeah, like, and it was only a doctor stoppage against Kevin Lee.
Yeah, and if you really go down his record and resume, like he honestly has one of the deepest resumes in UFC with everyone he's fought. I mean, he may not beat everybody, but everyone he's fought.
His first UFC fight was at UFC 123. Rampage versus Machida. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, this is our second vet on the card. We also shout out Clay Guda. We talked to him earlier. This is Edson Barboza. These are 2 people that they will be in the Hall of Fame when it's all said and done.
Yeah, that boy headlined the fucking card against Giga when he got bust.
Yeah, he got bust pretty bad against the Giga fight. His last 2 have been pretty bad. The loss to Bryce Mitchell and the loss to Giga was 2 very hard to watch fights for if you're a Barboza fan.
I was a Bryce Mitchell fan, so I was great for me to watch. But what's up with that boy? That boy Billy Q. He don't got too many recent losses. He don't got losses like that in general.
Yeah, I mean, he 2019 Dana White Contender Series, season 3, I believe, came off of that, got his contract. After that, went on like a 4-fight win streak, a couple knockouts, a submission, and one of them over Kyle Nelson, a Canadian. actually a pretty good fighter. And then his after that, he did lose to Shane Burgos, Hurricane Shane, now in the PFL, still waiting on his debut, and Gavin Tucker. But I mean, he kind of right those wrongs with his 2 wins. His last win against Alexander Hernandez. Alexander Hernandez is a really tough fight for anybody, and Billy Q just kind of like swarmed him. Like I mean, after he felt like Billy Q's really good at like hurting you, but the moment he hurts you, he goes in. Like he swarms you, looks for the finish, and he got Alexander Hernandez up out of there. And kind of like I want to say he ended it on the feet. Like it was a standing KO. Like the Alexander's face was all cut up, all fucked up, and they just had to stop the fight because he wasn't defending himself on his feet anymore. And Billy Q was just teeing the fuck off. And I mean, he's
Damn.
pretty electric. This is gonna be another electric fight. Like they set this one up perfect. They got an older Barboza who can still bang with anybody. Like if you're just gonna kickbox and just let him like chop your leg down, because like Edson Barboza will chop your fucking leg down. Like he will throw one of the meanest leg kicks there is. Versus Billy Q, who doesn't throw many leg kicks or anything. Leg like he has a good body kick, but he's gonna throw hands. So it's gonna be a fun kind of clash of like hands versus legs here, young versus old. Like this is a great gatekeeper match. If Billy Q can't get past Barbosa, then we kind of know what we got in him right now. But if he can show that he can stand up and knock out Barbosa, we might have another real deal fighter at featherweight here.
Okay. Hey man, coming out of Tampa, Gracie South. That's not too far from your house.
No, South Tampa, baby. I mean, way closer to my house now that I actually just moved into South Tampa.
When you going to Gracie South?
I have to go soon. I got my boy Billy Q there. They got my boy Matt Steamroller. So I'm gonna have to check it out. I have to see who I know the teachers there are super raw.
Yeah, I'm about to say you run into a raw ass teacher. Henry Hoof might go there might have conferences over there and shit.
I'm have to rock. I'm rocking with Billy Q all the way, and I got him by KO just because I think Barbosa's getting old. And I think Billy Q's just gonna swarm him, bro. This man is if you start drowning, he's gonna put your head down. Like I don't know. You gotta watch him.
I always think it's crazy when you look at ages and shit like that. I also think experience comes in, like, because Barbosa's been in so many wars. That's another thing. But like, it's crazy because like Barbosa's 37, but Billy Q's 34. But motherfucking, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
once you're at 35, that decline is crazy.
But it's not even sometimes the age. It's just more about the miles you put on. If you've been
Mm.
in wars after wars, like your chin, your durability, it all starts to go. So like that's why I like Barbosa, like Gouda, like it's just shocking that they're still able to keep fight as competitive as they can. With the fact that they've
Mm.
been over like 20 UFC fights. And then we got our main event here: Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen. We got Blast Express versus what is it? I think is it Mighty Mouse? I don't know if it's Mighty Mouse. But Arnold Allen, I mean, don't sleep on him. 19-1. Probably one of the smaller names at featherweight compared to like Josh Emmett, Yair. But I mean, he's just as good as them, just as dangerous, maybe even better. Who knows? But he's going up against Max Holloway, who if everything goes right, if he gets this win, he probably moves on to fight the Volk Yair winner. And if Max Holloway gets this win, I mean, he's kind of submitting his claim to like he like I say he's like the Robert Whitaker of the division. Like he submitted his claim that if he knocks out someone else in the top five, like don't waste your time fighting these guys. Like like I don't know. Like I feel like he's trying to make a claim that he should get another title shot, even though the last title shot, everyone feels like the Volkanovski closed the door on that because it was a real badass whooping in that last one.
Oh yeah, I mean, Max is my dog, the Blessed Express. You feel me? You can't fuck with him. That's my homie. I fuck with bro, but it's just tough to think about what's next in the division if he does get this win. But we can't sleep on Arnold Allen even slightly. Motherfucking, just 10 wins in a row, second longest active win streak because motherfuckers have been taking L's. He beat the fuck out of Calvin Hayter, beat Dan Hooker, motherfucking who else does he have on here? Oof, my boy ain't got no names on here.
Sadiq Yusuf, he's a good fighter. Gilbert Melendez, another good fighter.
Both of those were unanimous decisions. So this is his chance to really step up and say, yo, I'm champ material. I can, and you know how UFC loves to push a fighter from motherfucking London or anything like that. So motherfucking, this is his chance to really make something shake. But it's just sad that he has to go through my dog Max because it's funny how the rankings work. Because if Max is number 2, Yair is number 1, but Max is beating Yair. But like, so it's just crazy how the motherfucking rankings work. But Arnold Allen wants to take a chance to get to the championship. He has to go. But I feel like it comes down to fight style. Like Max is just somebody that's so nice, pure striker. He considers himself the best motherfucking boxer in the UFC. Like, what can Arnold Allen do about that?
See, Arnold Allen, though, the one thing with Max is he has to hit that flow state. And once he hits that flow state, there's no going back. If you let him get into his comfortable zone, he's going to get better in the second round, the third round, the fourth round, the fifth round, and he's going to get the unanimous decision. I mean, look what he did to Calvin Kattar. Look what he did to Brian Ortega. But if you make it uncomfortable for Max, like Volkanovski has and all his things, and even if it's early on to assert power or something, he is not the same Max. And that's what Arnold Allen can do. Arnold Allen has very, very heavy hands that he can dig into shots with. And the reason why I say it's not the same Max is because Max is used to throwing. Like, he literally set the record for significant strikes in a fight, and then just broke it in his next fight. Like, if you let him get his comfortability, he will throw like an insane 500, 600 strikes, 700 strikes. But if you could impose power, he's not going to throw that many strikes because now he has to pay attention.
I'm glad you said that because Max has 2,975 significant strikes, most in the UFC ever. He's 25 strikes away from 3,000 significant strikes. That's insane.
Yeah, and he's 1,100 more than the next guy. It's not even close to the first and second place. The second place guy has 1,700 and something, and he has 2,900 right now. So he's more than likely going to get more than 25 this fight. So I mean, like, he's definitely put himself into the case that he's a boxer. But everyone can always say his losses to Dustin Poirier. You know, Dustin Poirier was also in a weight class above him the second time. Max had to go up and fight him. The first time, he was still young. It was still a young Max, but it was also a young Dustin. But, I mean, I don't take too much, a grain of salt with that one. And I don't know. I just think this is gonna be a very tough test because Allen fights very similar to Volkanovski, where he's okay to be the counter striker and let you get a couple shots in, but he's gonna land something real clean on the get out. And that's what I want to see is he gonna does he have the power to like really hurt Max? Because then I could see him taking the one. But if he does, if Max just enters that state, this could be like a 4-1 Max Holloway unanimous decision where we're sitting here by the third round, like, where someone stopped this fight, he's not touching Max Holloway. Like, he's not, like, he's swinging and missing. Because Max Holloway doesn't knock you out. He has, some people will say, pillow hand. So, like, but it looks terrible when you're watching it because you're just watching someone get their ass beat and there's nothing they can do about it, like, for 25 minutes.
That's crazy because when you look at Max's numbers, he has what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So seven straight motherfucking decisions. And then, but his first, the doctor stoppage against Brian Ortega, the two KOs to Jose Aldo, and the KO when he won when he fought Anthony Pettis, and that's all beginning his championship run. So it's kind of crazy to sit down and it's very similar to like Izzy in a sense. Like he's just like, man, fuck it, I'm throwing hands with niggas now.
The difference though is Izzy's more of a counter striker than anything else, whereas Max is he's gonna swing first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Like he's not waiting for you to make a mistake and counter strike. Like that's why people love Max Holloway, because he's gonna bring the pressure, even if it means he's gonna get hit.
Hell yeah, we love it, man. But yeah, in this card, in this fight, I gotta take the Blessed Express. I'm going with Blessed, man. I got to. That's my dog.
I'm taking Max Holloway as well. I just think, especially because Arnold Allen, last fight was supposed to be his first 5 round fight. He ends it in like the first or second round, and his last decision fight, I think it was against Melendez. His ass, or was it Sodik Yusuf? It was against one of them. He looked exhausted going into the third round. So his cardio, maybe his gas tank, may be an issue. So, and if you know Max,
Yeah,
he's the king of cardio, and
yeah,
he's
it was
the
against
king of getting better in the fourth and fifth round. So I
oh,
mean, it's just like if Arnold Allen has to come in early, set the tone, and I just don't see that happening. And if it does happen, I'm not gonna say I'll be shocked, because I mean I'm telling you how I see his way of victory. So if he comes in early and hurts Max, I'm gonna be like, fuck, we may be in for a long night. But I do think as the fight goes on and he wears down Arnold and the cardio picks up and Max enters that flow state, it's gonna be smooth sailing. I think I got him a decision win right here.
I got a unanimous too. I think Max Holloway is somebody that just gets better. I don't think he's ever going to stop making moves. Like the fact that during COVID he was fighting and he was training himself like pretty much because he couldn't move. Because I want to say he was in Hawaii, but they couldn't leave, so he was pretty much doing his own training and came back and did what he did to Calvin Kattar. Like Max
Ugh.
Holloway is somebody that doesn't need 100 people in his ear. He doesn't need none of that. He gets up and gets motivated. And even when you look back at when he looks back at the Volk fight, he's not making any excuses. He's saying that like I need to get this fourth fight because I feel like I can beat him, but I'm not making no excuses for losing the third. I know there are things I need to get better at, and I'm working on them. So Max
And I mean, everyone loves that boy.
Blessed is not to be fucked with, man. I'm taking my boy Blessed.
Yeah, and Arnold, if Arnold Allen hits him with a mean one, I won't be shocked. I'm giving my boy Max Holloway an unanimous decision, and especially third, fourth, and fifth. I think you'll see a difference in two fighters in the third, fourth, and fifth.
We got to come out with some Blessed Express teas. Just wait on it.
And then, I mean, other than that, stay tuned for the Clay Guda fight, Barboza versus Billy Q, Dustin Jacoby versus Marzananov, Pedro Munoz, Chris Gutierrez, and Brandon Royval versus Mateus Nicolau. I mean, those are my cut man fights, along with the co-main and main event. But I mean, there ain't shit else to say except for enjoy UFC Kansas City. Y'all better be eating on the finest of barbecues when the fight night starts. Get the best beer out as well. This has been Totally Blitz Podcast. This is Paul Pickham, Wyndham Conchev, joined with Kev Waterboy, Street Fight Enthusiast Savoy. And if y'all didn't know, well, now y'all know, motherfucker.